Greetings, fellow Space Marines. I'm your host, Mr. Andy1, and for the Doom community, this is Alondo1. In this Doom Anniversary Special, I present to you my upcoming gameplay WAD, the Alpha Division. What this WAD is primarily designed for is co-op mode, but it can still be used for single player. So what does the Alpha Division have to offer? The player can choose one of 8 different player classes, each with their own sets of weapons, and having active or passive abilities. In this video, I will be going over each of the player classes and showcasing what they all do. Stats for each of the player classes will be present on screen prior to the demonstration. One final note, the level in which I will conduct the demonstration is a map I put together specifically for testing. It's a modified version of map 32, but one in which you can spawn in different enemy encounters. This test map is available for download in the description below, if you're interested. Without further ado, let us begin.
Alright folks, the first player class we will look at is Alan. This class behaves very similarly to Doom Guy, so as you'd imagine, he's a fast player class, and his weapon set primarily consists of shotguns. So, I'm going to briefly go over the weapons, and then we'll get into the demonstration. Okay, so slot 1, the player has fists, and as you saw, the knife. Then we have a pistol, 15 shots per magazine. Then we have the striker, MK2, and if you hit your alt fire, it'll give you another mode that the shotgun has, and this fires grenades. Then we have the double-barreled shotgun. This needs no introduction. You know what it does. Then we have the quad rotary shotgun. And then lastly, the battery force gun. Now, I do want to mention that every player class will have access to this weapon. Now, the active ability for this player class, if you look on the bottom right hand side of your screen there, you'll see a red sphere with an angry face on it and a number 3 next to it. And this active ability is Berserk. Now, the passive ability for this player class is Speed. As mentioned before, this player class runs just as fast as Doom Guy, so yeah. So without further ado, folks, let's get into the demonstration. Now, I have in this room some switches in which I can create my own encounters of enemies. But before we do that, let me demonstrate this big guy here. FYI, you want to stand back far with this thing. Pretty sweet, right? And yes, one shot just killed a cyber demon. Here's a grenade shot demonstration. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you this quad rotary shotgun here. So we're going to create our own encounter. We're going to do some imps, some pinkies, and some Hell Knights. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have a little fun with the Berserk. So we're going to get some demons in there and we're going to rip and tear. So, that is it for the Allen player class, and now we will move on to the next one. Alright, for the second player class we will look at Marc. This player type is a tech class. Marc has access to a variety of gadgets and gizmos to help him and other players in a variety of different situations. He is beneficial both on offense as well as defense. Now, we're going to first go over his weapons, and then we'll go over all the gadgets that he has. So, let's start with his slot 1 weapon, which are the taser blades. Then we have the dispersion pistol here. Next is the PR-500 plasma rifle. Next up is the plasma minigun. And then we have the plasma cannon. And of course, last but not least, the battery force gun. So, let's get another group spawned in, but we're going to use this. This time, let's add some barons. Just had to do that. And then we're going to test this, so we're going to get bigger and badder targets. What we're going to do now is go over the gadgets that Marc has. So first we have the deployable shield. So I'm just going to spawn in some lesser enemies, I think. Let's see, which one should we do? Actually, maybe not so lesser, but let's spawn in the Arachnotron for a moment. As you can see, they're trying to shoot me, but they can't. Excuse me for one. So as you can see, a plasma weapon can fire through the shield, while the enemy's firepower can't penetrate it. So, that's one of the benefits of having this, especially if you're in a hallway. This would come in good hands. But I'm going to show you something even cooler, actually. Now, Marc II can spawn in sentry turrets. Now, I have here the plasma sentry turret. Okay, so let's get one of the shields here. And me spawn in a cyber demon quickly. I think I actually hit one of the wrong buttons. Take a look at that. By the way, the button that I accidentally hit was actually an emergency teleporter button, which I'll go over a little bit later on. But as you can see, you could spawn in a deployable shield, match it up with a plasma turret, and you would have an indestructible defense array for a good 30 seconds or so. And the other stuff that Marc can spawn in are machine gun turrets. Now the thing is, you can't pair it up with the shield because bullets will not penetrate the shield. So it would be kind of useless to have a shield in front of these. In case if you're wondering what Marc's passive ability is, he has an area map. Now this isn't the best example to use, this map, but you can see in the northern part of this map here. So Marc has the computer map with him every level he's on. So that's pretty much it for the Marc player class, and on to the next one. Alright, the third player class we will look at is Evan. This player type is a tank class. Evan's weapon set consists of heavy weaponry, and he takes less damage from enemy attacks. He can be used on offense, but can be used as defense as well. So here are his weapons. Starting off with, get ready folks, this is going to be a funny one. The power of the pimp. I'll demonstrate this very soon. And you're going to enjoy this very much, folks. Guaranteed. Then we have the assault rifle. Then we have the good old minigun here. And then we have the triad rotary rocket launcher. And then we have the grenade launcher. And, of course, the battery force gun. So, on to the demonstration. Let's have a little fun. So, let's have a little bit more fun. I want to just show off a little bit of the heavier weapons. Let's do that. See, I made a little minefield there. that sound, you know what time it is. Okay, folks, so I know you're wondering about the power of the pimp. Okay, so have you ever thought about what it would be like if you had the ability to pimp smack demons in the face? Well, now you can. Now, that's the primary fire. The secondary fire is the atomic fart. Yes, you heard correctly. Atomic fart. I'll demonstrate it, okay? I think that's the best way. It's better if I demonstrate it instead of just trying to explain it in words. Alright, so we're going to spawn in some imps, MPPs, and Hell Knights. I think that'll work out fine. So anyway, now the active ability that Evan has is unlimited ammo. So if you look in the bottom right corner of the screen, you'll see an ammo clip in a sphere, and there's a number 4 next to it. So Evan has the ability to use this, especially if he is low on ammo, and can wreak havoc on a whole bunch of enemies. So if you're playing like a monster-heavy WAD or something, Evan would come in handy with it, especially with this active ability. You can have a field day, especially with the minigun here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a big wave of enemies. I'm going to put Revenant in there too, I think. We did it in time. So as you can see, no amount of ammunition was used. And I went full secondary fire with the minigun. Full beast mode with it. Now imagine if you were low on ammunition and you had the ability to do this. That would be pretty epic, wouldn't it? Now I do want to mention, when you do activate the unlimited ammo active ability, it does give you a bonus 60 bullets into your inventory, because when you do run out of time with the power-up here, you'll be using ammo again. So if you were initially out of ammo, at least you have some ammo to defend yourself with, you know. Anyway, that's it for this player class, and on to the next one. Alright, for the 4th player class, we will look at Charlie. This player type is the Ninja class. I know that sounds interesting there. Now Charlie's weapon set consists of light weaponry. He too can move swiftly, but mostly is an up-close and personal type of class. So, here's his weapon set. We have a katana here, which is really cool. I'm really excited to show you what I got with this, so we'll get to it very soon. He also has the shurikens, or the ninja stars. And we have dual-wielding pistols, dual-wielding Uzis, and the Shredder. Now I know it looks like the grenade launcher from Shadow Warrior, and yes, that is the sprite graphic, but what it really is, it's just think of it as more like a flat cannon. And of course, we have the battery force gun. So as you can see that Charlie has a kick attack when you hit your alternate fire on either the dual pistols or the dual Uzis. Alright, so I'll demonstrate the shredder here, which is flat cannon essentially, as mentioned. Before we proceed to the sword, I want to save the best for last with that. Let's demonstrate the ninja stars. There we go. So yeah, as you can see, it doesn't alert enemies. So if you wanted to sneak attack, you could use this, especially if you want a range attack. Now, the katana here actually has 3 firing functions. You have your primary, which is your basic slash, your secondary, which is a slash and dash, which comes in handy if you have a straight row of enemies, or even a boss enemy. And then, if you hit your reload button, you automatically nope out of a situation. So, let's do a little test. Some imps, some demons, some barons, and I guess we'll do Hell Knight. Pretty cool, right? Now I'm going to show you something just as cool. Actually, I'll show you with the Spider Mastermind since she's a wider target. So, let's spawn in another group of enemies here. Let's put some cat demons in there and a baron. So we're gonna go on ninja mode here. As you can see, I'm moving much faster. So yeah, that's Charlie's special moves there. Now his passive ability is agility and traversal, as in he is able to jump up to a higher surface, so like something is 64 height, he's able to get up there. So that is it for the Charlie player class. Pretty cool, right? So on to the next one. Alright, now the 5th player class we will look at is Bill. This player type primarily is a support class. Bill is the only player class to be able to hold the most weapons out of all the other classes, and is the only one to have 2 unique active abilities. So, here are the weapons. We have a crowbar. And we have a 357 revolver. Then we have a lever action shotgun. Then we have a sniper rifle. Now, this is where I'm going to show the active ability right here, because this is where the other weapons come from. Now, Bill has this super sweet magical jacket, okay, in which he can pull a bunch of random things out of, but in this case, he can pull out some new weapons. So I'm going to activate that.
Oh yeah.
And he pulled out the Duke Nukem RPG here, but it's not any ordinary rocket launcher. This is the Total Ownage rocket launcher.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Okay, so now Bill pulled out an AK-47 from his jacket. Now the AK-47 holds 120 bullets and does not require a reload. So you could fire this definitely until you run out of ammo. Now I'm going to show you a little bit with the sniper rifle. Of course, it's very similar to how it was in Temple of Lizmen 5, just a little bit faster in firing. Let's see if I could just do this. There we go. This is the weapon I wanted it to spawn. Now, yes, it looks like a detonator button, and it is, but what it is the Michael Bay button. Yes, you heard correctly. I'll show you what this does soon. But first, let's spawn in some enemies, shall we? And I'll demonstrate the other weapons here, such as the AK-47. So as you saw with this, it fired a barrage of the rockets. Now I want to demonstrate to you the alternate fire, which I'll show as this. What animation I use? We'll do Imps. And now I will demonstrate this thing. You're gonna have a field day with this one, folks. Now, for those who don't know, Michael Bay is a director, and he's known for a lot of explosions in the movies he's directed. Yeah, so get ready for this one, folks. Let's get them all together. Yeah, so that was entertaining, right? And that was the Michael Bay button. But I do want to just show you one more cool thing with it. It can kill a cyber demon in one shot. Last but not least, I'm going to show you Bill mode. This is going to be pretty cool, folks. Let's set up a good set of enemies. Let's have a little fun. Alright, just in time, just like with Evan. So that was Bill mode. As you can see, dual wielding the lever action shotguns and pretty much being desk guy for 30 seconds. So that's the Bill player class. I know I had a bit of an awkward moment with the magic jacket, but I'll edit that out. So yeah, future Rolando's going to take care of that. So that is it for the Bill player class, and on to the next one. Alright, now the 6th player class we will look at is Laura. This player type is the medic. Laura is the weaker of the classes, but makes up for it with her weapon set as well as her infinite supply of medical supplies and being able to spawn in some sentry drones. She's better utilized as a support class, but heavy firefights are not her cup of tea. So here are her weapons. Starting with slot 1 with a typical knife. And then she too has a dispersion pistol like Marc does. We have the MP5K. And then we have a plasma pulse gun right here, which actually requires a cooldown. So you could actually fire it until it starts overheating, and you have to let it cool down for a little bit. But it does come in handy. So, within her inventory here, she has a medical backpack in which she is able to spawn in stim packs, and she is able to recharge it every time she moves. So she can hold up to 5 at a time, but she could spawn in however many stim packs essentially that she needs to. So she could heal herself, she could heal other players, and she really is helpful in that regard, you know. I mean, especially if you're dealing with a level that has low health, you could spawn in health for your player class here, for Laura, and she'll be able to heal back up to par, you know. And then, of course, she's able to spawn in sentry drones, which I'll show you in a moment how effective those are. As you can see, that Laura is the type of player class that is better if she's hiding behind for cover, you know. She's going for cover, she's able to come out of cover and pick off enemies from a distance. And if need be, she's able to use this weapon right here to fully defend herself if she had to. Now I'm going to spawn in the little sentry drones here. She's able to hold up to 3. Every time you pick up a backpack or a supply box, she's able to spawn more if she wanted to. Alright, so we're going to spawn in some enemies and we'll have these bots do their job. course, these little sentry drones are also very beneficial, especially if you're dealing with boss enemies. So if you spawn about maybe 2 or 3 of these sentry drones, they will be very helpful against the bigger and badder enemies, even large groups of enemies as you saw before. So even though Laura may be the weaker of the player classes, she's able to summon friends if she needs to. So that's pretty much it for this player class. There's not much else for me to go over. I mean, I just demonstrated everything right there. So that's it for the Laura player class, and on to the next one. Alright, for the 7th player class, we will look at Lucky. Lucky is an anthropomorphic dog piloting a mech suit. This player class is the strongest but the slowest compared to the others. Lucky is able to wield a variety of different heavy weapons, perfect for heavy combat situations. In addition, this player class is the only class to have the ability to taunt, which we'll get to in a moment. So, let's go over his weapon, shall we? Now in slot 1, he has a shield gun. Now his default weapons here are these plasma guns. Next up is the rocket launcher, as well as mine layer. So, primary fires rockets. Secondary fires a proximity mine. Now if you hit slot 3 again, you'll activate the battery force gun. Lucky will always have the battery force gun on him, he just needs ammunition for it. Next slot 4 we have dual miniguns. Now I do want to mention with the taunt system how to activate that. Now for the shield gun, plasma, rockets, and the redeemer, to activate the taunt you hit your reload button.
You want any files with that?
So no matter which weapon you have, you hit the reload key.
You got knocked out, man!
And you'll hear his taunt. And yes, that is Chris Tucker.
God damn!
And yeah, it's randomized. Now for the minigun, you could hit the alt fire.
They call me Snap and Pop because I snap and I will pop your ass in the mouth. Don't mess with me, man.
And he'll do the taunt.
I like them dead, deep fried. You ever heard of Popeyes?
You could also hit the reload key, it'll do the same thing.
They call me Snap and Pop because I snap and I will pop your ass in the mouth. Don't mess with me, man.
You tell him, Lucky. So yeah, that's part of the demonstration there. Now we're gonna have a little fun with the miniguns. Now the active ability that Lucky has is a little jetpack to give him a little extra boost. Got about 3 seconds of that boost, so if you need to get to a high surface, get to it quickly. Now his passive ability is damage resistance. He too has an area map, so if we move up, he already has the computer map with him. So that is it for Lucky. He's a fun character to play as, and I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if you enjoy monster heavy WADs, this is the perfect player class to play as. Trust me, you will have a field day with him. He is fun. Ain't that right, Lucky?
I like them dead, deep fried. You ever heard of Popeyes?
Damn right. Alright, so that is it for this player class, and on to the very last one. Alright, for the 8th and final player class, we will look at Sandra. Sandra's a mutated human whose main ability is stealth. She is a support class and her weapon set for the most part will not alert enemies. The most impressive thing about her is her active ability, and you will see why that is the case very soon. So, starting off with her slot 1 weapon, it's a knife. Slot 2 is a silenced pistol. Then we have a bow and arrow. Primary fire fires a regular arrow, will not alert enemies at all. But the secondary fires explosive arrows, but will alert enemies when the arrow explodes. Is the railgun Mark II. And then of course lastly, the battery force gun. Now you probably noticed that the other enemies were not alerted. Oh, still, damn it. There we go. So as you can see, Sandra's weapon set does not alert any enemies. So you could stealth kill a lot of enemies if you wanted to. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to show all of you the really cool active ability that she has. Alright, so I'm going to spawn in a whole bunch of enemies. We're going to put in some Hell Knights. Now, her active ability is Stealth Mode. And what this does, this will legitimately make her completely invisible to every enemy. Not only is she translucent, very translucent, but she too has no target set, which means enemies will not even flinch at the slightest movement. Compared to the original partial invisibility that Doom has in Z Doom, that enemies don't automatically react to you so quickly, as in you have to move around a bit in order for them to take notice. So in this case, she will be unnoticeable, period. So, I'm going to go and activate it now. And look. See, I'm touching him, and he doesn't even notice. And obviously they only notice when you hit them. You got a minute, by the way, with this power-up. So technically you could walk past the Cyber Demon in here, go straight to the exit, and they wouldn't know that you went right past them. That's pretty much Sandra's player class for the most part. Now the other thing, her passive ability, is she is able to climb up on higher surfaces. And she's able to move pretty quickly too. She's actually the second fastest player class, just under the Alan player class. So she can move quickly, and swiftly, and stealthily. So, the Sandra player class, although her weapons are not necessarily designed to deal with heavy combat, but they are effective. Now I do want to just demonstrate a little bit with the railgun here, just to showcase how effective this is. saw that one shot, right? Pretty sweet, right, folks? One shot the Arachnotron with the secondary fire. This railgun is still quite capable. Now, things, it does have an overheat meter, so you're able to get good amount of shots off of enemies. But when you use the secondary, though, it will raise the temperature greatly. So just be aware of that. So that is it for the Sandra player class. Now onto the inventory stuff. Alright, now we're back for the inventory demonstration. I'm playing as Bill for this, since he does have access to the main ones. So first we have the hand grenade. So I'm just going to demonstrate here. Now, the proximity mines. Now you could lay them down on the floor if you want, or you could plop them on the wall. Now these mines are shootable, so if you needed to detonate them sooner, then you could. Otherwise, enemies will blow up when they get too close to it. Then we have the emergency teleporter, which you saw me accidentally use that early on. So it pretty much is the chaos device from Heretic and Hexen, in which will teleport you back to the beginning of the level if you needed to nope out of a situation quickly. So since I already had demonstrated that early on, I don't need to do that this time around. Now, for some real good stuff. The friend beacon. You're able to hold up to 3 of these, by the way. And this spawns in 3 allied characters, 3 allies for you. Alright, so we have Mikey D in blue here.
Yeah, bitch.
Jason in green. And Tom in the dark blue. And the one who said that dialogue was Mikey D. I do want to mention, in case of any of these allies do get killed, they do respawn where you left that beacon spawning thingy. Now let's say you don't like the characters that spawned, or maybe they're in one part of the map and you wind up teleporting to another and they can't get to you, so you have to spawn in another. So it takes out the others and spawns in new ones. So we have Mr. Chris, who spawned in, Rebecca, and Roller, who is the brother to the lucky character. Go from there. Let's spawn in some Hell Knights, Barons. So, that's it for the inventory items, I think. I believe I covered them all. Bill's jacket, are you going to work this time?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes! It finally did it. It finally got the Michael Bay button. So, let's go out with a bang, folks. Let's raise the bar. Sorry, that was cheesy. Alright, so that's it for the PVA promo demonstration.
Well, folks, that's it for the video. Hope all of you enjoyed my little demonstration of a project that I've been working on for quite some time. I mean, I still want to do some more modifications to it, but I'm hoping that I could release maybe a playable beta version of it, at least in 2022. So I'm hoping to do that. So, if you enjoyed this video, folks, please hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button for more Doom-related content. And as you know how my outros go, if you're watching this during the day, I wish all of you a good day. If you're watching this during the evening, I wish all of you a good evening. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Take care.